Hello guys, today we are talking on New Total English and Unit Friends. Look at the photos. Okay, they are quite different. What aspects of culture do they represent? Какие аспекты культуры они представляют? First, let's find out. Давайте с вами выясним, какие у нас есть культуры. In global, we break up and look at cultures by separating the world into 5 different regions: Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, Eastern or Western Europe, and Latin America. And now I think you can easily define. Я думаю, что сейчас вы можете легко определить, какие именно культуры здесь представлены. But what is the aspect of culture? А что такое аспект культуры? It is all the things that make up an entire people's way of life. Entire polling. All the things that make up an entire people's way of life. Actually, there are several aspects of culture. Существует несколько аспектов культуры. They are easily to be memorized. They are easy to be memorized. Они легко запоминаются with abbreviation CARLEX, при помощи аббревиатуры CARLEX. They are, so the aspects of life are customs and traditions, art and literature, religion, language, economic systems, government, and social organization. So also they say that the family is really an aspect of culture, So the family can be nuclear or extended. Nuclear means that it is the usual way of life, like husband, wife, and children. And as for the extended ones, that means that they all live together, like grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, children, uncles, aunts, all together in one house. Okay. As for the types of society, it's matriarchal and patriarchal. Okay, it's quite clear. As for the customs and traditions, customs are habitual activities we participate in. Это привычные действия, в которых мы участвуем, обычаи. Traditions, традиции, beliefs, customs and practices based from one generation to the next. Это верования, обычаи и практики, которые передаются из одного поколения в другое. Enforced with society pressure, society is the mistake, like society pressure, or the law, которые внедряются либо со стороны общества, либо закона. So, family, types of society, customs, traditions. And speaking about economic systems, it is about what to produce and who to produce for. It can be traditional, when people survive themselves, then capitalistic, when people build business, and common, when the country regulates, then the state regulates everything, and mixed types like capitalistic and common and so on. Okay, language is the cornerstone of all culture, and it affects the culture's transmission and identity. Влияет на распространение культуры и идентичности. Art and culture, they teach cultural values, and this aspect makes a mark or a comment on the world or on society. Religion, the major religions in the world are Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism. And religion usually answers the basic questions about the meaning of life. Okay, and the last one is government. These aspects provide laws. They provide laws and uphold them, protect them from outside and inside threats, and they can be democracy, communist, socialism, and dictatorship. So let's look at the photos. I think all these photos represent a lot of aspects of culture. For example, if we look at the photo with figures 1.1, here we can see a woman. I guess it belongs to the region of Latin America. And here we can see that she brightly represents us the customs and traditions of this country. And I think it is also a part of a culture. And it certainly makes a comment on a society or on a world, because she wears her traditional red dress, she dances traditional things, and so on and so forth. So please let us choose another picture and describe it. You're welcome. The second question is, what are some typical features of your culture? The culture of the ethnic Russian people, along with the cultures of many other ethnicities with which it has intertwined in the territory of the Russian Federation, has a long tradition of achievement in many fields, especially when it comes to literature, folk dancing, philosophy, classical music, and traditional folk. So if I answer this question, I would say, okay, I'm asked, меня спрашивают, what some typical features of your culture? I say, Russian culture places a high value on the homeland and on family. Then Russia is home to at least 190 ethnic groups, plenty of traditions and artists. So that's why rich cultural life is a certain feature of Russian culture, of Russian aspects of life. While Russian is the official language, many Russians also speak English as a second language. More than 100 minority languages are spoken in Russia today. Religion has always been a primary component of Russian life, even during times of oppression. There are nearly 5,000 registered religious associations in Russia. Okay, and we should obviously say about the ballet, the composers, Russian literature. Altogether, it combines the richest culture. We can speak about Russian nesting dolls or matryoshkas. We can speak about Baba Yaga and the Firebird, and Russia has a rich tradition of folk tales that derive from a number of Slavic myths and traditions. Okay, we can also say about traditional Russian foods and drinks. And, for example, colorfully painted domes of churches and so on. And the Russia Day is celebrated on the 12th of June every year. Okay, let's move further. How is your culture different from other cultures you know about? Different. And how is it similar? Different, разный, similar, одинаковый. So when you search for difference, когда вы ищете различия, you probably want to embrace cultural differences. Вы хотите охватить культурное различие. You want to learn ways of understanding cultural differences. Понять другие культурные отличия. You want to learn how to talk to people from different backgrounds. И хотите узнать, как говорить с людьми с разными информационными полями. Similarity, единство. Cultural universals are patterns of traits that are globally common to all societies. Есть некие культурные универсалии, это такие образцы или черты, которые глобально общие для всякого общества, любого общества. Cultural universals are patterns or traits that are globally common to all societies. And absolute cultural universal is a family unit. И, конечно, семейная ячейка — это абсолютная универсалия среди всех культур. Absolute cultural universal is a family unit. Let's look at customs like funeral rites, weddings, and celebrations of births. Давайте посмотрим на такие обычаи, как funeral rites, weddings, похороны, свадьбы, and celebrations of birth, и отмечание рождения детей. Can you find differences or similarities? Какие различия или, наоборот, сходства вы можете найти между разными культурами? Please tell us in the comments, пожалуйста, сообщите в комментарии. Okay, and now please read the text. The text is named, the heading of the text, заглавие текста, Not in my culture. The prehistory, предыстория. Oh, Kali, gordita, ¿cómo estás? Translation. Oh, Kali, Feti, how are you? Kylie, пупсик, как ты? This is how my father-in-law would greet me every time we went over to his house. Greet – приветствовать. Это то, как мой отец приветствовал меня. Не мой отец, простите, мой свекр приветствовал меня каждый раз, когда мы заходили к нему. At first, сначала, I thought I needed to be on my best behavior for my husband's parents. Сначала я думала, нужно придерживаться самого лучшего поведения, что касается родителей моего мужа, на глазах у родителей моего мужа. I thought I needed to be on my best behavior for my husband's parents. So I would just smile and nod. И поэтому я просто улыбалась и кивала бы. When really I felt furious, яростный, когда я действительно почувствовала ярость, as he insulted me, когда он оскорбил меня, about my weight over and over again, когда он начал оскорблять меня по поводу моего веса снова и снова. Okay, let's read once again. Давайте еще раз прочтем. This is how my father-in-law would greet me every time we went over to his house. At first, I thought I needed to be on my best behavior for my husband's parents, so I would just smile and nod, when really I felt furious as he insulted me about my weight over and over again. Finally, one day I'd had enough. И, наконец, однажды мне хватило. When my father-in-law mentioned my weight, когда мой свекр вновь упомянул, упомянуть, mentioned my weight at the dinner table once again, за столом, за ужином, in front of everybody, на виду у всех, telling me I looked even fatter than normal, говоря мне, как будто бы, что я выгляжу жирнее, толще, чем обычно. I lost my temper, вышла из себя. Well, you look older and more wrinkly than normal. Ну а ты выглядишь старее и морщинистее, чем обычно. Silence. Наступила тишина. I turned bright red. Я вдруг резко покраснела. As I realized, как только поняла, I just said something truly offensive, что я сказала что-то истинно обидное. Offensive, обидное. Eventually, по факту, someone coughed politely, кто-то прокашлял вежливо, coughed politely, and changed the subject, и сменил тему. But after dinner, но после ужина, my husband took me aside. Муж отвел меня в сторонку. Took me aside. Why in the world, почему, в конце концов, would you insult my dad like that? Ты оскорбляешь моего отца так. He asked. Спросил он. I told him. Я ему сказала. I've had enough of the weight comments. Меня уже достали его комментарии по моему весу. I've had enough. Мне уже достаточно. Enough, достаточно. Tell him to stop insulting me. Скажи ему, чтобы он прекратил обижать меня. Tell him to stop insulting me. And then my husband told me that in Chile. И затем мой муж сказал мне, что в Чили gordita is a term of endearment and is only used lovingly. Гордита – это такое вежливое, ласковое обращение и используется только с любовью. He also explained, он также объяснил, that it's not at all impolite, что это совсем не невежливо. To bring up other people's weight loss or weight gain, поднимать вопросы о потере веса или наборе веса, weight loss, weight gain, and that if people do, и если люди так делают, that just means, это только означает, they care about you enough to notice, что они заботятся о тебе достаточно, чтобы заметить это. Let's revise the words. Давайте повторим слова, которые мы с вами изучили. Enough – достаточно. Mention – упомянуть. Lost my temper – вышла из себя. More wrinkly – морщинистее. Turned bright red – покраснела. Offensive – обидная. Truly offensive – действительно обидная. Coughed politely – вежливо прокашлять. Changed the subject – сменить тему. Took me aside – отвел меня в сторону. Insult – обидеть. Impolite – невежливо. Weight loss – потеря веса. Weight gain – набор веса. Enough to notice – достаточно, чтобы заметить. So I explained to my husband, а я объяснила своему мужу, that telling someone they look fat or fatter is one of the rudest things you can possibly do in my culture. Что говорить кому-то, что они выглядят жирно или жирнее, одна из самых грубых вещей, которые можно сделать в моей культуре. Rude – грубый, the rudest – самый грубый. One of the rudest things you can possibly do in my culture. Well, my husband had a little chat with my father-in-law. Да, мой муж поговорил с своим отцом, and my size was never mentioned again. И обо моих размерах уже больше не говорили. Okay, let's move further and tell the story itself. Давайте попробуем пересказать эту историю. Для пересказа нам помогут 4 вопроса. What did Kylie's father-in-law keep doing? So Kylie's father-in-law kept telling her gordita. How did she usually react? Usually, she reacted furiously, and sometimes she lost her temper. What happened when she got angry? When she finally got angry, she lost her temper and said him something truly offensive, like you are looking older than normal and you're looking more wrinkly than normal. What did her husband explain? Her husband explained to her that in Chile it is very good when a person notices about someone who is losing weight or gaining weight, because that means that they care about people. Or he also said that gordita is something very, very kind and is used lovingly. And now, please share with us, have you ever had a cultural misunderstanding? Please tell about it in comments. Okay, some more new words, немного больше новых слов для вас. Dependable, надежный. Encouraging, вдохновляющий. Generous, щедрый, великодушный. Selfish, эгоистичный. Jealous, завистливый, ревнивый. Kind-hearted, добросердечный. Mean, равнодушный. Pleasant, приятный. Sulky, надутый. Upbeat, бодрый. Okay, and we should insert, мы должны заполнить, fill in the space here, like the first sentence. For example, a pleasant person is friendly and well-behaved. The next one, who cares about you and wants to help you? It is kind-hearted person. So kind-hearted person cares about you and wants to help you. Okay, who always does what you need them to? Dependable. Dependable person always, a dependable person always does what you need them to. Jealous. A jealous person is unhappy if you have something they'd like themselves. Who happily gives you whatever you need? A generous person happily gives you whatever you need. Who has a positive, optimistic attitude? Attitude, отношение. An upbeat person has a positive, optimistic attitude. Okay, who tries to give you the confidence, уверенность, to succeed, чтобы преуспеть. Who tries to give you the confidence to succeed. Encouraging person tries to give you the confidence to succeed. Okay, a sulky person. A sulky person is angry and unhappy for long periods. And who thinks of themselves first? Of course, selfish people. A selfish person thinks of himself first. And who doesn't like giving anything away? A mean person doesn't like giving anything away. Раздаривать, равнодушные люди ничего не хотят. A mean person doesn't like giving anything away. And now your homework, it is to choose the correct words in italics to complete the sentences. Нужно выбрать слово, выделенное курсивом, чтобы завершить предложение. So please write them in comments. Напишите в комментариях. Thank you very much for attention. See ya. Bye.